Well, hello, good evening, and welcome. How are you doing, guys? Wherever you are around the world, you may notice Daryl's not about this week. He's not. He's a little bit under the weather, so we decided to give him the week off, haven't we, Simon?
Yeah, he's a bit down at the moment, just feeling a bit poorly. So yeah, we'll let him recover. He'll be back to 100%
It's
next week.
man flu,
Man
man
flu,
flu.
yeah. Don't say.
Dear,
He might be watching this. Don't say
oh,
that. But
he says to his wife, "Oh dear, get me a cup of tea,
yeah,
please. I'm dying in bed." That's man flu. Yeah,
yeah,
you know, man flu's very serious. It really is. It's so dangerous.
yeah.
You know,
If I say
you,
it's not, yeah, but he'll be fine. I'm sure. So we wish him speedy
Yeah.
recovery and
So we
he'll be
got a
back
busy
trained
week,
for
haven't
next
we?
week.
We got the SEO event coming up.
That's right. I looked at my diary and I thought, oh
Mm,
my god, it's this week, isn't it? So yeah,
yeah,
we will finally meet in person. So that's going to
yeah.
be good.
4 hour
So
train journey for me on Wednesday.
yeah, I'll be there Wednesday night. So it'll be nice
Yeah.
to meet up for a pint and a catch up, and then yeah, with the
I've
conference
I've
all
I've
day on
got the
Thursday.
yeah. Well, it might be a late point because on the Wednesday night I've got I've managed to get a ticket to the meal thing.
Oh yeah, okay. I saw that. I thought about
Yeah.
maybe going or not, but I thought if I went, you wouldn't be there, so I'd miss out on it.
Uh,
So I
well,
should have got one.
check tomorrow with them, see if they still got any. You
Yeah,
never know.
I think they said they were sold out. But
Well,
anyway, I'm sure I'll meet up with you
but we
later on.
could,
That would be good.
yeah. I think it's on till 11, and then it's sort of hello, Holly. Holly's
Hey
popped
Holly,
in and said,
how you doing? Good
"Good,
to see you.
good to see you." I love your photo, by the way. That's brilliant. What a great photo.
Yeah, that's great. And
Uh,
there's Don
There's
there as well.
Don.
Hi Don.
Evening. How you doing? As you pop in, guys, say hello. We always love to hear from you. And we just said a moment ago, Dal's under the weather a bit this week, so he's got man flu, and as we all know, man flu's really serious.
Yeah,
So last time I had it, the missus said to me, "Just get up and get on with it."
yeah, no mercy.
No, but
So
yeah,
yeah, so it's been pretty busy week. Obviously, I'm working on some
right.
projects. I'm sure you are as well, doing some more mass page stuff. I've been going to speak about it a little bit later on, but I'm launching a new service on Tuesday called Mass Page Booster. I'm not going to sort of pitch it all today. There's going to be a kind of a webinar on Tuesday night on my group, so hopefully we can get people to come along to that. It'd be good to share some ideas on
Yeah.
that. So that's most of what I've been doing at the moment, as well as some other SEO stuff.
Well, I've had fun this week because for those that are in Mike Martin's group and my groups, I got a post up with an issue, and this is a WordPress issue where also with SSL security and stuff, and I'll talk about that a bit later on as well of how you can correct it yourselves. And there is a video in Mike Martin's group and mine basically showing you what to do on our hosting. It may be different for other hosting services. So we're going to talk about that. And originally we were going to launch this week DFY Magic Themes, but because of the WordPress issue, we've decided to hold back a bit longer because we want to make sure that anyone new coming into the system will be able to use it from day one. And we don't want you having to go into the back end of your hosting company and edit a file and go and change some text. It's a bit of a pain to do. And some people may not be as confident who's going to be new coming into this, and other people will be confident in doing it. And so we're just holding back for the major WordPress update. But I'll explain a bit later on what's happening with that and what problems are caused on your hosting when that happens.
Sounds good. So yeah, I'm going to go through some slides as I often do. Obviously, Daryl's not here, so it'd be great to get your input as we go through, Steve. Just talking about mass page building in general. So I appreciate there's obviously a lot of mass page building experts who watch the stream, and that's great. But there are also some people that are new to this approach and tactics. So I thought it'd be good to touch on that and. If anybody has any questions, or obviously we always have the guest line open if people want to come in and say hello and ask a question directly, that would be great as well. So hopefully there's sort of a free-form discussion about mass page for SEO and local SEO tactics just in general.
I think I need some CBD cakes.
Sounds good. And it's great to have Holly here as well. Obviously, Holly's a speaker at SEO Underground. I think she's virtual, but it'll be great to see you, Holly, on Thursday. Steve and I are going to be there in person, so that's all good.
Yeah. We have to do a photo opportunity when we're there to prove that we met.
Show that we met in person. Yeah, that'll be.
Yeah.
That'll be good. So, look, if you want, I mean, we can just I can just run through some of the slides. I'll try to share my screen and see if we can get that going again. Hold on a second.
Don't forget to like and share this live stream with people, and let people know all about us. It's always good with us. We share SEO tips and tricks, and we also talk about building mass page websites. So it's always good.
So look, this is just a general set of slides, and just see how we go through. And great to have your questions as we go through. So. And apologies if I'm covering some of this stuff with people who are already experts in mass page building, but hopefully this is a useful session. So, look, let's sort of cover off some basics about why mass page is a good strategy for local SEO. Now, we all know that Google wants to rank web pages which are the best answer to a user search query, and we know that a lot of Google searches are local, about 46%. So it's all the stuff like plumber near me and London electrician or New York SEO or whatever, and Google obviously likes web pages which are highly relevant and typically on trusted domains, and it uses their algorithms to understand that content, or rather read that content and decide if it's going to rank it highly. Now, as we also probably know, a lot of local websites are not don't have that many pages, so a lot of them might have an about, a contact, maybe a few service pages, etc. So obviously a home page, but they typically don't have hundreds of pages. And competition on local SEO, not in every case. Obviously, there's some very high competition niches like locksmiths and electricians, but it's typically lower competition than a national keyword. So there's opportunities to use some techniques to try and get an edge. And obviously, people use rank and rent as a business model to generate leads and send them through to local businesses. But you can also use it for your own local business website or local clients, whatever. So all that said, so that just kind of hopefully gets people in the same place. Now, I'm going to try and do this justice. It's a big topic. I'm going to try and keep it simple. So, Steve, you have to keep me right. So, if the this little diagram here, I just sort of pulled off a stock image site, and basically says that if the red dot in the middle is one person with a local business website with a small number of pages, mass page is a way of building out multiple pages that are targeted at a specific niche and or location. So if we take the example of London plumber, we might also build a Woking plumber, a Reading plumber, a Leeds plumber, a Manchester plumber. We might build pages that are related from a location point of view, which might help us rank. So a mass page is a way of automating that to create multiple pages that are either unique or sufficiently different to rank from an SEO perspective, and that gives you an edge because you're essentially throwing more darts at the wall. You have a number of location or niche pages that appeal to Google from an SEO point of view, and instead of having just one website with maybe 10 pages, you can have multiple pages, hundreds of pages, and you could then potentially replicate the website to have scores of websites or even more. So that's kind of my kind of summary of mass page. Now, Steve, did I do a good job on that or not? Or would you add anything in terms of mass page? I appreciate a number of people on the stream know this already, but I just want to kind of get us in the same place.
No, I think you're spot on there, and I add Magic Page plugin to client sites. I will set up a subdomain and do a fresh install of WordPress, and then go and build the Magic Page and build it all out. And it does take a bit of time to get it right and build it right in the first place. So and then you get all your location-based pages, and it's always keyword times location. So, but no, it's good.
Cool. Okay, so that's a good start. We'll mention Magic Page and a few other things a bit later on, just as we get into this. So, like, why is mass page a great strategy? Well, it's the ability, you just said, to repeat and scale websites, pages that will appeal to Google's algorithm, get ranked, and it's a way to do it cost effectively. So I've been involved in projects with clients where we've approached a kind of essentially a mass page building approach, but without the automated software. So it's like, get a content writer, write 50 individual pages, and even if you go to a virtual assistant or whatever else, you can do that. It's going to be costly because you've got a lot of manual effort. You have to build that up, and if you do it on 50 pages, 100 pages, it's going to get prohibitive, particularly for a small local business. So mass page building is a way to automate large parts of this and do it cost effectively. So that's why I think it's a great strategy. Now, I've got a demo site here. You're welcome to look it up yourself. It's just something that I put together a number of months ago, and I used to show potential clients what a mass page site is. This is just a small one. It's Teesside Carpet Cleaner. I think it ranks on the top 3 for Teesside Carpet Cleaner and a few others. But you can go on here, and this basically shows you a format. So typically on a mass page, if you look at the title here, it says Teesside Carpet Cleaner, hire the best carpet cleaners in Teesside. There's other things. So you basically uses short codes and data variables to change Teesside to Middlesbrough to Stockton to whatever else, and makes the page unique, not just by changing the H1, but changing other parts of the page. And we add things like videos and maps and other content, drop down FAQs, that sort of thing, to hopefully come up with a site that will rank. And then obviously we can consider backlinks. So there's a number of things we do there. You're welcome to look at Teesside Carpet Cleaner. I'm not holding it up as a perfect example of mass page building. It's really just there to show the principle of it and how the maps add and the links and everything else. But that's something that's just there. Now, a question obviously people can ask is, does mass page work? And it's always quite awkward, this, because it's difficult to share real examples and obviously client data, because obviously people want to keep that confidential and everything else. So I'm not sharing the identity of this, but this is a client I've worked with over a year and a half. There's somebody that actually took my course and did some work here. So you see them starting to do some SEO, and I did my course around about this time. They did some blogging over the time, and then about 4 or 5 months ago they added in mass page, which was based on using mass page tools and magic page plugin, which a lot of people on the stream will be familiar with as tools, and Steve just mentioned them. And during that time, the number of keywords being ranked has doubled. And what's interesting on this example is that not only have the number of keywords on the main website or the mass page site grown, but obviously they've also had a boost on the main site as well. So it's a bit of a virtuous circle. Now, you could have just left this site. Maybe it probably would have continued to grow anyway, because there's some good content there. But I think you see this picking up, and I know for a fact from this client's point of view, they've had a distinct growth in the number of leads they're getting for that particular niche that they're targeting with mass page, and so much so that they've had to actually outsource some of the leads they've had to other providers to be able to deliver it. So it's a great result from their point of view. They're only a small business, and these things can make a big difference. So it's just to sort of show a graph. There are others, but this is a good example of something where you can see a cause and effect. And I know there's an effect because the mass pages are actually like a quarter of these 2,000 keywords are being ranked. So I can see that effect, as well as obviously the main site ranking up too. So a few pitfalls of mass page building. Google says it doesn't want any useless spam pages, because obviously it uses a lot of resource to crawl them, and it wants to put the best content in front of its users through search queries. Obviously Google does rank you could argue spam pages, so it doesn't necessarily have it all worked out. And obviously as SEOs, we're trying to take advantage of that and make sure that our pages get ranked ahead of others. But there's definitely some things to bear in mind. That mass page building is not just a silver bullet, and there does need to be a strategy behind it. So mass page sites are typically built over time to reduce the risk of the Google hammer. So if you're a local business and you dump down, as it would be possible with mass page building, 5,000 pages in one day, that's unlikely to be something Google would respond well to, because a local business would be unlikely to have that. So that could be an issue for it. It may take it may rank a lot of those pages, but it might decide to ignore them as well. Content needs to be different on each page, not just the H1. It doesn't have to be unique, but there has to be some variety along a theme. Sites that are mass page sites benefit from technical SEO, backlink building, just like a regular site. And we use a lot of automation in mass page building, but obviously it's potentially a threat with AI. So Google may become clever at spotting automated content, but I think, to be honest, as long as the content is good quality and useful, Google's going to go with it. But I think if it's just spam, I think Google's increasingly likely to be able to spot these things, spot automation, and take a view on it. So there's definitely things to consider in terms of your mass page building strategy. And we'll hopefully get some questions from you guys, and we can try and answer them. It'd be good to have a discussion. So there's a couple of different ways to do mass page, and this is just picks on what Stephen just said. So one of our, well, a couple of our favorite tools are using obviously WordPress site and using a tool like Mass Page Tools and using Magic Page plugin together. Mass Page Tools is a bit of software which obviously Daryl has created, and he's not here, so hopefully I'll do this justice explaining what it does. But obviously Mass Page Tools allows you to collect and create SEO enriched content, which you collect in a form, a simplified form, and you export that content, that data, and upload it to Magic Page plugin. The Magic Page plugin does quite a few different things, but essentially enables you to automate the building of SEO friendly pages. So those two tools work hand in hand, and create that. It's one way to create mass pages using WordPress. I'm going to mention a very small plug, which is mine. I'm going to go on about it because I've got a session on Tuesday, but I'm launching my own mass page building service. So this is instead of you building it yourself and using those tools, this is done for you, and I've called it Mass Page Booster. And the idea is that you add this onto your existing website, and it's particularly aimed at local businesses. So if you have an existing website and you want to enhance your SEO using a mass page service, I'll tell you all about that on Tuesday. That's Tuesday, 12 of October, 8 o'clock UK, 3 p.m. EDT. I'm going to stream it in my group, which is Local SEO Heroes. You can go to on there. That group. So no more plug on that, but that's just to say I'm working on it. But that's just a different approach. One is done for you, one is DIY, and obviously a lot of people on the stream, it's DIY, and obviously that's an approach. So Steve, that's the end of my slides. I thought I'd just sort of come out of that and have a chat with you and just see what we are doing.
Yeah, no, that's really good.
I thought I'd switched it off first.
No.
The stream then. Cool. So that's so that's my kind of mass page in 5 minutes, and I hope that's helpful. But hopefully it'll prompt some discussions and be good to have some questions. Yeah.
No, that's good. And while we're waiting, we've got Steve Dimmock. Evening, Steve. He's saying very cool, Simon.
Oh, thank you.
And I love the idea of this service because yours is different to what we're doing with DFY Magic Themes. The idea of our Magic Themes is people who want to set up an entire site from start to finish, who own the Magic Page plugin, who may be interested in it. With your system, it's where you've got an existing site running. And it may be a client site or something you haven't got where you haven't got the time to offer this service out yourselves, and so you can go to Simon, and the idea is he'll supply you a page that then will boost back to your main site. So I'm going to be really intrigued. It's Tuesday evening. Your live
Tuesday, 8 o'clock UK time in my Facebook group, and that's 3 p.m. So that's good. So yeah, thank you, Steve. Now Holly's asked a question. I thought she might ask this because I've done some work with Holly and had her use Google News training. And is the site news approved? It's not, Holly, and actually I should reach out to you or maybe listen to what you say on Thursday at the conference to remind myself how I could use that, because I'm deploying some of the DFY stuff as a subdomain. So, but yeah, I'd be interested to maybe think if I could put that on Google News and get something from it that way. Yeah.
I think it'd be great one week if Holly would be willing to come on and chat to us about Google sites and stuff like that. Awesome. I think that'd be really, really good. So, there
we go. There's straight guidance from Holly there. So yeah, thank you, Holly. I might reach out and say hello on that. Yeah, thank you.
So it's really good, and thank you everyone for popping on and joining us this evening. Please like and share the videos and spread the word about this. And it's interesting, what I was going to do in a moment. I'll let you read that out first if you wanted to.
Yeah, Holly's just making the point that Google News sites help indexing instantly, because obviously it's going through, Google's taking a feed or reading the site very often to put it into its Google News algorithm or aggregating service, so it helps with indexing. So that sounds good. Cool.
No, it is. Yeah.
Don's saying smart tip. So I don't know if anybody has any questions about mass page building from that. Appreciate Steve and I are here, and I guess we have more time than normal because Daryl's not with us. So I don't know if anybody has anything they'd like to do. Okay, Steve's saying, how do you create a Google News site? I think Holly's the best person to come on that. Maybe if Holly was to come on our show, that would be wonderful, and we can get it from the horse's mouth. Holly's obviously an expert on Google News, and I know for a fact, because I've used the service. She runs a network of thousands of Google News sites, which you can buy into and submit articles through her network. So I don't know how many, I can't remember, is it 1700 or something, but yeah, it's a large number in that network, and it's something that she's building. It covers niches, and it also covers areas of the country as well, so that's good.
And I've already, and Steve's great mind think alike, I've already suggested that as well. One week we'll get Holly on and have a chat with her and get her to explain a bit more about Google News sites for everyone, if she's willing to pop on. So it'd be good. And Barbara, welcome, new face to the group. So there's so much great information. Where would a new person start? Well, funny enough, while Simon was talking, I thought I would quickly fire up a site and show what DFI Magic Themes does on the install. Now, I'm not going to do the full install tonight, because it'll take me a little while to finish setting up some of the things in the background. But I just want to show you how quickly one of the themes installs. So I'm going to quickly just share my screen. And this is sort of thing that can complement what Simon's doing as well, because we can set these up, and also Simon can then supply a landing page site, landing page to go to these sites also to help boost you. But what I've done here, I've just done a very quick blank install of WordPress, and I've already loaded Magic Page plugin to save a bit of time while Simon was chatting away there. And so the idea is, and I'll just show you, this is a completely empty site. And if we go back into the dashboard and we go to pages, all pages, I can delete these. I normally get rid of the demo sample pages and posts in WordPress. And so we're going to now come back to themes, add new. I'm going to upload the pest control one very quickly.
Are you able to just give us an overview of what plugins you're using, or is that
yes.
secret? I mean, to kind of set the scene for people so they understand what we're looking at.
It's a blank WordPress install with Magic Page plugin on it at the moment, and that is it. All right, and this, the way this installs, it installs additional plugins to make the site work properly, and so it uses the Cadence theme and some plugins in the background just to make it all look a bit fancy, really. So the idea with this now is I can now load the pest control site up. And bear with me while I just get to the right download folder.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say, I mean, mass page building is a kind of, I don't know, a more advanced SEO technique. It's often used with local SEO, particularly for lead generation. So lead generation sites, rank and rent sites focus in on this because it's a way of just getting an edge on local businesses who don't necessarily have a pro SEO or haven't invested in content or whatever else. So just worth sort of just explaining the context of that. So you're obviously building these mass pages to target an issue, and you're going to talk about pest control, yeah.
Yeah, in this case, because what we have, I'll just show you I'll just pull into shot a minute our members website here. And so we have full training from start to finish, from setting up the hosting which we supply, installing the actual theme, and all the basics sort of in the background of Magic Page things you need to do. And we also include Lead Simplified training, which is the call center software of Mike Martins that handles all the calls and all your inquiries that come in. And then we've got on here the electrical site, gardener's site, and pest control site. In fact, I can use any of those. So if someone is watching, if you want to just post in which one you want me to install, I can do that one instead. So you can take your pick really out of any of these that I'm going to put on a blank site. If no one picks, then I'll let Simon pick. So just give him a moment or two longer. If not, pest control, Don says, great. Well, that's the one I already had loaded, so that saves me a bit of time. But if we come down to
that's fortunate,
yeah. If I come down to pest control, and in here in the members area, we've got the actual theme itself with all the content in it, and then this is the Magic Page file which has all the content. So I'm just going to download this file here I'll do save as because it's a text file, and I'll just stick it into somewhere where I can find it because I'm badly organized on my computer. Let's just rename this to something a bit better so I recognize it. Save so I can find
planning
that.
Preparation here very poor this week, Steve. I'm just like wondering, no slides, no, just saying.
I'm
going to be disappointed.
I'm always organised like this, you know me. Right. Oh, hello. I've got pulled over the wrong screen now. That's good, isn't it? Let me find the right one. It's always the way when I swap things around a bit. Let's have a look. It should be. It's not that one.
Yeah, I mean, behind a lot of this, Magic Page plugin is something that we use, and I think probably most people on the stream use it. So it's a popular. There are other products that are out there or software applications. I'm a Enterprise user as well, and I know there's other WordPress plugins in addition as well. I think it's fair to say Magic Page plugin is, I suppose, probably the most well-known WordPress plugin for this. So it's a good place to start, and it's well supported. And it's on, I don't know how many sites. I don't know if Mike Martin's ever said how many sites, but it's certainly a mainstream mass page building solution if WordPress is your approach, of course.
So I'm now going to install the theme itself with this will pull in all the content and include actually everything you need for a site. And we're going to activate this. Install the starter templates. And now we can select DFY themes and pest control and start import. And what this is doing now is pulling in the entire theme, the layout, and all the sort of standard content images and bits and pieces like that. And then in a moment or two, I'm going to pull in the actual content itself into the site. So this takes a moment. So it doesn't take too long, and it does run fairly quickly. So and this is what we're launching. We wanted to launch this week, but because of the issues, and I'll explain in a minute what issues those are with WordPress, we've had to hold back a little bit. So with this install, I've already done the patch in the background of WordPress to make sure that this is reliable. And it's all to do with SSL security. Let's Encrypt, which is a major player for offering free SSL services to web host companies, did an update, and in turn, in the background, in one of the files of WordPress, this hasn't updated properly. And so they're doing a fix as we speak. So what you find is Exagio, the SEO plugin, will not connect up properly. Main WP, Jetpack, and our own cloud services, which we do to import actual web pages themselves. None of that will work unless you update the file that is in the background of WordPress. Now, I'm not going to go through it tonight. There's a video in Mike Martin's group and in my group that you can go and view, and that shows you how to fix this issue. As soon as I worked out what it was, I spent 3 days on working out what this was. And when the moment I realized what the problem was, I shared it with as many people as I could to make them aware of it, if you have any issues. So if you are trying to connect up a plugin to an external service where they have a web interface and they view your site, that is where the issue comes up. So that's the thing to always watch out for. So I've just done the install and that content's come in now. The main thing I want to do, first of all, is go to settings and permalinks, and we just set this to post name, click save. I'm then going to pop up to Magic Page and Magic Page itself and do edit. Now on the install of Magic Page, I've already added a location base, but for this demo I'm going to pop in here now and put the main location page. And this will pull in quite a lot. So I'm going to lower this right the way down to 30 because I want to keep this under, ideally, 250 pages.
Just for everyone's benefit, just whilst we're looking at those shortcodes, it's worth just highlighting what those do, just for anybody that's not familiar with Magic Page plugin.
So a shortcode is basically anywhere where you place this on the site, you can put content in these. So if I scroll right the way down past all of this a moment, and this is sort of the back end of the pages, and we'll keep on going down. I'll just try and grab that with my mouse if I can. So down here, I haven't pulled, the reason they're not showing yet is I haven't pulled them in. So let me just do the Taunton bit and click update.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
And then, so there's no X fields pulled in the background of this at the moment. But what we're going to do next is just nip in and go to Magic Page and Settings, Import, Export, Import Data. And what this is doing is it's going to pull in the X fields and the spin text shortcodes. And this is the data needed to build the site up. There's the file I pulled in earlier. Merge. This should say success in the top corner. Now, if I come back into the Magic Page itself and I do the edit, and these are all built in Gutenberg editor, which makes them super fast.
Yeah, I think that's the way. Well, I know I've gone. I know you've gone. I think a number of people are looking at it. I know Element has been a popular choice, but now that Magic Page plugin supports Gutenberg, I mean, for me, it's Gutenberg all the way, and Cadence is a great theme and block builder. So yeah.
So anywhere where you place these, you can put content into an X field, and I'll show you that lower down in a moment. And we got the spin text shortcode versions on some of the pages as well. And so if we come down here, these are all our X fields that we've gone and created. So where this one is somewhere on one of the pages, if I came in and deleted that and replaced that content, that would replace it on the page anywhere where this X field has been placed. And this is sort of the idea of you can build a mass page very quickly if you build these out properly. You can see we've done an awful lot. I've got to say, hats off to Robert, my business partner, who has done a lot of the content in the background. And then these are spin text shortcodes. So with spin text, and for those that don't understand spin text, it's where you do the curvy bracket, a pipe, and a curvy bracket, and you can put options in that spin around. With a spin text shortcode, it's slightly different, because what you can do is you can create options. So in here, and I'll just go to the text to just show you one of these when it catches up with itself. So in here, we've done spun text in this one. And then if I clicked on text on there, there's one in there, there's one in there. So we've done 10 options just for one section alone. And there's another 10 in here, 10 in here, and so on. So we can place these on the site anywhere, and that will show this content here. So if I now come back to the main site, and let's go and visit the site. Now, this won't be 100% because I haven't filled in my personal business data, but as you can see down here, this has the Lead Simplified web form. All the content has been pulled in automatically all the way down. So these sites have been built ready to serve you. They get you started templates, and the idea is that you can then come in and update this content with your own. A lot of people in the mass page industry with Magic Page don't know where to start. And so in our members area, we've got easy step-by-step training that leads you all the way through with this. So if I come down, if I go and find a service page now, which is a bit higher up, and I go into here, this is the content on the service page. And the idea with this is when we clear the cache of the site, this changes. So you could install this at the, with the content we've added, thousands of times, and it'd be unique because each version of this is spun, and then there's 10 versions of this for this one page.
Yeah, and that's the stuff that we were talking about earlier on in terms of the pages need to be, useful content. So obviously, this is a page about pest control, and there is some useful content there, but it's not just every single page being, the H1 title at the top is, Taunton pest control, and the next one's Somerset pest control or whatever, Bristol pest control.
Yeah,
it's obviously changing the content all the way through to mean that it's not unique, but it's variations on a theme, but it's not just a cut and paste. And I think that obviously is going to help Google like it and ideally rank it.
Barbara's saying, how did you do that? I'll never be able to do that on my own. Do you know something about the thing is, what brought this on, this original idea and concept, was I've mentored quite a few people over the last couple of years. And me and Robert, I was mentoring Robert. He hadn't been able to get a site set up properly. He was getting confused. It wasn't easy. And so the end result of this was to bring him into a place where he could get a better idea of what Magic Page plugin was doing. And then he said, there's got to be an easier way. And he said, someone's got to build something. So we've built these done for you themes, and there's 5 niches initially on our launch within the next couple of weeks. It'll be electrician, gardener, painter, pest control, and web designer. And then we're planning on then going monthly with individual sites moving forward as well. So there's lots and lots involved with this. There's a ton of work. Oh, thank you, Steve Dimmock. The thing is I enjoy helping people, but it got to a point where I was helping people probably a year and a half ago now, or more, where I was helping people for nothing and spending too much time, probably spending a good 30 hours a week helping people for nothing. And I just turned it into a business model and charged for mentoring. And it's worked out well. But like I said, these come with, I think the main thing with these get you started sites is obviously you want to get your own images and replace your images. And we're going to add into the training how to replace the images on the site. The phone number, when you use if you change the X field or use the magic form, you'll be able to instantly change the phone number. If you look in the bottom left-hand corner there, you can see it says tell in the bottom corner, so it's clickable. Anywhere where there's a phone number will be replaced. These aren't linked at the moment because I haven't filled in the magic form, but the idea is that you can put your links in and they automatically get added. Taunton's down there obviously for the location. There's lots involved with what we've done with these. You've got the contact us page, and we've got the about us page. So, and you can come in and replace the images. You can adjust them to get you started with building mass page websites. You could actually set one of these up and set and forget it, and see how it does. Generally, see if it's going to rank on that domain name. If this starts coming up on that domain name, then you're able to at that point say, oh, actually, that's not so bad. I'm going to do X, Y, Z to it. I'm going to add my own content, my own pages. I'm just seeing, because we are in the middle of revamping dfimagicthemes.com. I know we haven't done an update on this page in a while, but I was just seeing if we left the web form up, which I don't think we did, but I'm going to have a look. I'll try and get a web form added on here for people so they can sign up in advance. I think we took it off the site because we are getting very close to launching. So watch this space, keep an eye out, and we are getting there gradually. But I want to make sure everything works 100% for everyone involved. So that's sort of the run through of one of the builds. There's more to it because we've added the full training, the A to Z training in our members area.
Awesome. Okay. So just looking at the time, we've still got time obviously from the hour, and I just wonder if there's any other things that we want to cover off. If people have more questions about mass page in general, we can go through that, or we can cover off another topic. I had obviously a couple of questions come in there as well, but are there any things that we want to cover off? This is probably where we'd be asking Daryl to come in to cover he's the last 20-minute guy, but obviously unfortunately he's not with us today. So but we're happy to use the time to cover off some other things. People might have some mass page tools questions as well, and then we can do our best to use it. And Steve and I both use mass page tools.
Also, I've already set up. If you want to pop on and say hello tonight and ask us some questions, dfimagicthemes.com/live. It's not the usual link. I just had to set one up because I don't have access to the Daryl's Go HT one.
No, that's it. Yeah.
So you're quite welcome to pop in and ask some questions tonight as well. The main thing to remember is we work with a bunch of tools. So it's WordPress, it's hosting, it's Magic Page plugin. There are other plugins as well that you work with, and any one of them can cause a problem at any time. And so when you have any issues in WordPress and your site's not loading for whatever reason, log into File Manager and go and find the plugins folder, right? Normally under, I think it's under WP Content. Go and find the plugins folder and rename it, and then go back into the site and see if it loads. If that fixes your site, then on average, that there'll be a rogue plugin. Then you can go back and name the plugin folder back to what it was before, and normally it should disable all the plugins. If it doesn't, you have to then rename each plugin one by one, and work your way through that at all times. And I think that is always the best way forward with that, you see. So and thank you for that, Don. Training is spot on for A to Z. Yeah, we've had a lot of good feedback and a lot of good people. The Defiers in the Inner Circle group have just been awesome following the training, and we've had to change some things every so often when something's come up, and we are nearly there now. It's like I've said to people before, the members area, the Membersonic software we've been using played up, and they kept blaming the hosting when it wasn't, and they did an update in the end, but we're still switching to digital access pass because it's a much more solid product. So there's all these things that get in the way in life, but the cool thing about the whole DFY system, DFY Magic Theme system, is that you can follow it at your own pace. And that's the wonderful thing. And here's a question, Simon: is your training for Schema?
Yeah, so look, Mass Page Booster, which I'm going to do a whole session on Tuesday, is a done for you hosted managed service. So it's not, that's not a training package. I do an SEO course and there's schema training in there. That's sort of separate, but specifically what I've talked about tonight is a launch of a service. So I'm basically going to set up a mass page site, a landing page site, and run it off a subdomain, but I'll be hosting it. There's different ways I can do that to make sure I control it. I'm using SEO plugins. I'm using other bits and bobs in the background to put together the magic recipe to make all that come together. So that's if your questions about what I've been talking about earlier on, Mass Page Booster, it's not a training program. That's something completely separate. But I do SEO training, and I've got a course, and I do coaching. So if you want to have a chat anytime, I'm happy to do that. But on the what I'm doing, Mass Page Booster, it does have schema. It does use SEO tools to support it, but it's done. It's all of it's packaged up, and I do that for you essentially. But it's something you can have as a bolt-on to an existing site. But it's also something, if you're interested to sell on to clients, it's something I can do on your behalf and white label it as well. But anyway, I'm not going to make it too much of a sell, because I'll do that on Tuesday. If you want to join the session then, and we can cover off more questions. But if you want any help, obviously always feel free to reach out.
Yeah. Colin says Stephen Roberts' training goes for all of that in tiny steps, about 30 minutes a day over several days to get to the stage he quickly showed. Thank you, Colin. It's and the thing is it's like, and I've mentioned this before, when we released Lead Gen Magic originally, and the themes are still in there, and they still are set up to work with Daryl's form, but some things came up with Daryl's form that Daryl had to tweak and adjust and sort out. And so off the back of those things being adjusted, we then would have to go through all the themes again and sort them out. The Magic Page plugin updated. So at the moment, I'm also heavily investing in a dev working on upgrading Lead Gen Magic, and those that got in early will get the new version of it, and that is going to be the Blocks Club, which we're changing to. But because of the latest SSL security issue, the Blocks Club will not always connect to sites. So we are waiting for WordPress to do their update fix, and that should hopefully be soon. And we've already got probably about 10 to 15 blocks in there built that have been tested with Daryl's form, and we're adding more and more as we go along. And that's a task in itself, because we have to make sure that those work every single time and they're reliable. And at the moment, because of this issue with WordPress, on some hosts, not all hosts, but some hosts, that is causing this connection issue also for us. And it's not just us. It's like I said, it's Main WP, Exagio, anything, Jetpack, or any of those that connect up. You have to go in, and if you follow my video, don't necessarily use my code that I've given you. Double check with your own host provider where you have to replace that piece of code, and that's how really you fix the issues. You're having any connection issues with third-party plugins to third-party sites, that'll be causing the issue. It's the SSL security. And there's a big thing about it on the WordPress site as well. People in the forum on there. DFY training is worth the investment alone. Thank you, Paul. And Paul's a inner circle member as well. So it's really good. And the thing is what I'm doing with DFY Magic Themes is different to what Simon's doing. I must state that Simon's offering a service with a landing page that works with your existing sites. If you've already got a site running and you want to get more leads in, more with that boosting, go and watch Simon's event that's coming up, because it's certainly going to be well worth watching.
Yeah,
can anyone view it?
Anyone can view it. I mean, it's in my local SEO Heroes group, but it's going to be a public stream in there. So just join local SEO Heroes, localseoheroes.com, and pretty much everyone's allowed just to come in and join, and it'll be freely sort of streamed on there. It'll also be on my YouTube channel as well. So, yeah, it's also just worth saying, without giving too much away, it's going to be sold on a kind of niche by niche basis. So if somebody wants to have a magic page booster for a particular niche in a particular area, I'll only sell one for each area, so it's going to be kind of exclusive from that point of view. So I'm hoping that's going to be something that's going to be quite interesting, particularly in the more competitive areas, to give people a help if they don't want to create their own magic page site. This is something that can be done for them through what I'm putting together. So yeah, Don is saying he'll be there, so that's great. It'll be great to have you on board, Don, and hopefully I can tell you a little bit more about it. So I look forward to seeing you on Tuesday.
Yeah. No, super exciting times. And while I'm on the train traveling to the SEO event, it's I'll be on a laptop working away on various bits and pieces of the two main areas, Lead Gen Magic and DFY Magic Themes. And the thing is my frustrations have been, like I said, I work with other products, and when something happens to one of those products, it has a knock-on effect to what I do. But I'll always look after people. I will always bring things up to date. Some of it's taken longer than I like, but the end goal is to get the Blocks Club fully running and keep adding blocks to it, and the DFY Magic Themes will keep adding themes to it. So both of those are still on their way in the pipeline. And long term, those that invested from day one on Lead Gen Magic, you're going to get the Blocks Club added in there, and it's going to be a nice, easy way of just pulling in blocks onto your site, onto a page. So you're going to build your sites out using Daryl's form, and then, like I said, reach over to Simon, and he can do you a landing page which will boost the site very quickly, which I think is a great idea, Simon, because when you are starting out in this, one of the things I keep getting asked all the time from people is I've got a site built, I've got it set up. How soon can I start earning money? Well, you can start earning money either by spending a shed load of money on Google Ads. And if you don't know what you're doing in the right way with Google Ads, it can cost you a fortune. Or you can reach out to Simon, where you can get a service set up. And like you said, you've got a client who's already, is now selling leads to someone else.
Yeah.
So to get into Lead Gen straight away with one of those pages is fantastic. With your setup, I assume they can give you like a form code like what you get on Lead Simplify?
Yeah, absolutely.
That can be put on there.
Yeah, I mean, it's set up essentially to every button on the landing page goes to the main site. So the idea is that really it's a means to an end. But if you wanted to, it could be configured to have the contact form on the site. But the idea is that the mass page booster pages rank, and then it just sends traffic to the main site, and then the main site is designed to convert as it is. So you're not sort of doubling up. So, but anyway, I'll go through an example on Tuesday and explain more how it works. Yeah.
How long? If someone came to order you one of these pages, what length of time do they look at for
Turnarounds,
roughly?
I'm aiming for 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm using a template, and all the hosting and everything's all set up and tested. So it's kind of a proven formula. I'm collecting inputs like people's images and some of the text that will be based on some of their website, and some obviously understand their objectives and where they want to target, and the rest of it will just be built out from that. So when it says it's done for you in that sense, is that literally I'll just have a chat, collect some information, and then it just gets built on your behalf. So you don't actually need to know anything about SEO. You don't even need to know what mass page is. So it really is, it's very much for a kind of I'll be doing it myself. It's obviously going to a local business and saying, you have your SEO, here's a different way of helping with the SEO, and mass page boost is one way to do that. So I don't touch their site, I'm just building a subdomain, and there's pros and cons to that, and people who know SEO obviously will know some of those as well, but it's a way of just delivering a standalone managed service that doesn't touch their main site. So that's the approach.
No, I think that's ideal. And the thing in this day and age, whether you want to be doing mass pages yourself, or you're someone that's got a business model where you haven't got the time to do this, that's where I think your product comes in, Simon, where someone goes, well, I haven't got time to add it to this client's site, I'm going to pay for this service, and then I'm going to, on top of, after paying for that service, I can now put my markup on top and make a monthly fee out of it. And I think that's a great idea.
And it's not rank and rent, because it's still branded there, because we're using a subdomain. It's still branded the client's site. So they will feel some ownership and attachment to it, in a way that if I was just doing a rank and rent, it's something clearly that can be repurposed and used elsewhere. So I think it's something that works very much more hand in hand. And that's the idea of the booster, is something that's boosting their existing site. It's helping them that way. So anyway, so we'll see how the launch goes on Tuesday, and take it from there.
If you had a booster on, let's say I had a client, and I went, right, Simon, I'm going to outsource this to you. You're going to set this up for me, and then my client stops paying, right? And I say to you, I can't pay you now because they've stopped paying. Does that page then disappear off the system?
Well, initially I'll just put it into maintenance mode. I mean, it still exists on my host, and I can obviously put it into maintenance, or we can see how things go. If after a while people don't pay, I can redirect it to their competitors, or I can switch it off. Clearly they control the subdomain where that points, but ultimately I control the content on the mass page site, because I control the hosting and the logins and everything else. It's not something clients log into anyway. It's completely black boxed. That's good to know. It's a different approach to some of the things, but that's obviously the path I'm taking with this.
The reason I ask the question is in what we do with rank and rent or lead generation, we own the properties, and so when it comes into offering a service to someone, and this is what I've said this myself to people who've got customer sites, how do I add mass pages to a customer site? And I say, put it in a subdomain. So do a subfolder install of WordPress. And so it can be a / folder, for an example, and then a folder name, and then you just build the magic page in there, and you control the WordPress site in there yourself. The client doesn't have any access, because I know of people that have added magic page plugin to client sites, and two things have happened: either they've messed the site up badly and haven't backed it up, always back up a client site, right? Or the second thing that's happened is the client's got it on the site and they stop paying. Now, with the new Magic Page plugin system, where you can build the physical pages, all you can do is switch off the license. And if you've used your if you've got one of these licenses that's unlimited installs, right, and it's not the agency license, the moment you cancel that license, it cancels it for all your domains. So you need the agency version, and if you cancel the license in MPP, the only bit they can't get to is the magic page section to do edits.
They've got the static page. I mean, they just leave it. I mean, I personally, Steve, I don't know about you, but personally, I would never install a magic page plugin on the client's main site.
No, I wouldn't.
For that reason, for a lack of control. And if you ever have any issues, if there's any conflict, if something breaks on their site, even if it's nothing to do with magic page or any of the stuff that you've done, then they're going to blame you, and they're going to ask you to fix it, and then you're going to have to diagnose it and prove that it wasn't Magic Page plugin or whatever you've used that's affected it. And I just wouldn't, personally, I wouldn't go there. I would use a subdirectory, which you've said, but obviously you can't install a subdirectory if you're on Squarespace or Wix or something like that. If it's a cloud-based system, then you have to not use a subdirectory. You need to use a subdomain, and that's the route that I'm going down. And I am a photographer, and I work with a lot of photographers. Many photographers have portfolio cloud-based sites that are not WordPress based. They use Pixieset and SmugMug and Zenfolio and a whole host of other applications. And me trying to put a WordPress plugin on that, it's not going to happen. It's not WordPress. So that's why I'm doing something that's completely stood away.
So you're doing it
subdomain, not subdirectory.
So you're doing it at domain level, basically. That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
so on the domain you're saying point that subdomain to my servers,
my host,
and then I'll set everything up for you and boom away. And I think that's a great way of actually doing mass pages.
It's a different approach, and I need to build up the authority on those sites and all this. Obviously, I've got part of that in terms of my approach to make that work. But that's what the proposition is. So it's not rank and rent. It's a different approach, but I retain control over it as a result. So we had a chat about this a few months ago, didn't we? We looked at the different models of on the client site as a subdirectory, as a subdomain, and there's different benefits for each one. But for my use case and the client base that I'm particularly looking at as a sort of local business owners and who might be people like photographers, I think is a good fit there. So I mean, I think it's great. That hopefully, mass page, you can use it in a lot of different ways. You just need to understand, hopefully, what your clients are looking for and put it out there. But anyway, we'll see how the launch goes. I might come back next week and say, no, I'm going to do rank and rent.
Yeah, no,
do something totally different.
I mean, I think that this product that you're launching is a great idea because I see it fitting where you have got clients already, or you're like an SEO expert, but you want to offer an extra service, and you've already got clients. You can go out to them and say, "Hey, I've got this great new service that's going to do X, Y, Z." And the thing is you as the person working with that client, the middle person, you don't have to do the work. You just go to Simon and go, "Hey, Simon, I've got this client. I'm going to pay you. You set it up. Tell me what I need to do. Boom, 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 done." And I think that's a really good service to have, where you've got customers of your own on board, and you don't necessarily want to do that work compared to. And this is my angle I've gone with. I mean, I fired all my customers, to be honest, because they were costing me money at one point with COVID, and so I just went no more, bye bye. And it was the greatest feeling when I fired some customers who were being a pain in the butt, and I set up I carried on building my lead gen business, which is fantastic. So, Barbara, how long did it take to learn? I should be talking about DFY Magic Themes because Steve Dimmock's made a comment below, and so the thing is it's not hard. We do give you the step-by-step training. On average, I can do an install of one of these sites in 15 minutes because I know what I'm doing. If you follow the training from setting up the hosting right the way through to the end of this, you're probably looking at first a month, a few weeks to get used to the whole system, get it set up. But as you get the ball rolling, it gets quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker. And you'll be able to put these sites up in a day. It's just the initial learning curve, and that's why we give you the step-by-step training. And so we're aiming to launch this within the next couple of weeks. But like I said, we had to delay things, not because of what we're doing, just because of updates in software. But the one thing we always do, and one thing I stand by is that, and I'm sure Simon will do the same with his products, is the fact that if there's a problem, we will resolve the issues. And that's the difference between what we do and what other internet marketers do. Is there's some internet marketers out there, not all of them, but there's some out there that will release a product 6 months later, it's gone. With ours, we will always support them. It may take us a while to find a solution to the problem or a workaround or whatever it may be to get that working again. But we will always support it, and we'll always look after everyone. And that's how I always work, and that's what we've been doing with DFY Themes and the Inner Circle people. So. Don says that a mere model can get done in a couple of hours per site. So, it does vary. And like I said, we do the full training package when we launch, which will include Lead Simplify. And I did the original training in Lead Simplify for Mike and the team. This is I get you started Lead Simplify, the fast track. So you do done. And it's and it's very much in a similar way where you clients on board, and you can very quickly get Simon to set one of his lead gen pages up for you. Boom, you're done. So that's what this is all about. Is just making everyone's life easier, so you can get to the end goal. And the end goal, and we always got to be honest, the end goal is making money. That's what the end goal is.
Helping people, Steve. Helping people.
And my end goal, all my goals is to help people. We can't guarantee you'll ever make any money because we're not you. But the point is, if we help you with those easy steps of offering services that can help you in that direction, then that makes your life a lot easier, and that's what it's about, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Awesome. Well, that's a good sort of end places with not ends, but normally now we'd be doing the big domain giveaway, but obviously Daryl's not here, and he's the guy that has, I don't know how many domains.
A million.
He's got thousands of them. He's buying and selling them all the time, and I know whenever I speak to Daryl, he's always telling me he's got a new domain or another piece of domain software. So we can't give away them this week. I don't know if that means Daryl's going to give away 2 next week or not. I don't think we can speak on his behalf, but we can certainly.
No, we can't.
People's minds. No, we can't do that. But yeah, so that's great. So look, I just want to say if anybody's nobody's sort of volunteered to come on, but if they wanted to come on, they'd be welcome to. Don's just basically, I know Don's only here for 2 minutes. He loves the domain giveaways, and he's normally a winner. I don't know, he's probably a domain millionaire actually, because I think Don's won quite a few of them over there. So that's good. But if anybody still wants to come on to say hello, if you have any questions about mass page building and the stuff that we've talked about, that would be great. Or come on, ask a question, come and say hello, what you've been working on. That's fine. So let me just let's get the banner up again if anybody does want to join us, and we can wait a moment or two.
I'll tell you what, Simon, I'm so looking forward to this SEO event. And I am to nerd about booking the meal or not, to be honest.
So did I was on the fence. Thought about not booking it because I thought I was meeting you on the evening. I thought, well, I can't do this because Steve won't be there. Now I hear
you should have messaged me.
You wear the VIP. Well, it's awkward, now with
should
the
have
VIPs.
Gone, Steve, what are you doing? If I'd known, we could have had our own VIP event, couldn't we?
Could have done, yeah. So anyway, it will be great to.
Two blokes in a pub getting drunk.
Yeah. I'm sure it's going to be a great event. There's got some great speakers, and be really interested to.
You staying close to the venue?
To be there. I'm staying right in the centre of Newmarket. Actually, I don't think it's close to the venue, but I kind of figured people would be heading into town.
I ended up booking in Cambridge because.
All right.
Every room I looked at, they had one night, and I've booked 2 nights because.
Oh, okay.
Because of our wonderful train system in the UK, the trains that reach from where I live to Newmarket, I have to go via London, and I have to I think there's a shortcut train that bypasses a part of London, I think. But the thing is it's a complete nightmare coming back. It would have got me back so far. And then I would have to walk the rest of the way, which is a long walk.
Yeah.
And with my fibro and stuff like that, I didn't want to be walking. So I booked an extra night. So I stay over till Friday, and then I get the morning train back.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm planning to drive back on the Thursday night, but cool. Okay, well, nobody's wanting to join us this week, which is fine. That's you're right. But you're always welcome. So maybe we'll have people next week, and obviously wish Daryl all the best, and hopefully he's feeling a bit better. We'll see him next time. And
hopefully his man flu won't last too long. Do you know what he really is? He's in the Bahamas, sunning out.
Is he? Okay, yeah.
He's on holiday. That's what he really.
He's on his yachts. Yeah, okay.
He is. And he didn't want to be on screen bobbing up and down.
Yeah. So look, I mean, I'll obviously see anybody who wants to join me on Tuesday for my magic mass page booster. That would be great. So come and join local SEO heroes, and it'll be streamed in there. So good to see that. And you got plans, Steve? Just sort of capping things off.
No,
I'm from SEO Underground and all that.
I've got a few bits to sort out and work on, ready for when WordPress sorts themselves out to deal with my themes and no, we're going in the right direction, really. And Steve Dimmitt says, "See you Tuesday."
Yeah, see you, Steve. That'll be good.
Yeah, that's the new day of the week. Tuesday.
I'm thinking about doing a kind of Tuesday slot actually, just in my own group, and I might continue that. I have done a few trainings on that day, and it might fit in well. But watch this space. We'll see how we go.
No, but it's really good. And guys, if there's ever anything you want us to talk about, whether it's mass page, SEO, something general with the internet world, you know, it could be about Google, it could be anything.
Yeah.
Please let us know, because we're always keen to get your ideas in. And it may be that we know someone that will know about the subject you're interested in that we can bring onto the program. I hope Holly accepts our invitation at some point.
Great to have Holly on if we can. Yeah,
I'd love to know from her more about you know, Google news sites. I haven't done much with them myself. You know, I know they're super powerful. You know, and so yeah, so it'd be great to invite her in. And same as if you know somebody who you think might benefit the program, please do. But thank you as always, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and share the videos, and we'll be back same time as Daryl say, same bat channel.
See you next week then, guys. Take care.
Bye.